I've actually tried to quit, even in this dark period I was telling you about. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't. Like, I was at the grocery store. I was picking up, like, I think it was some milk or something. And I heard a really dope sample over the PA system. And I was like, you can't get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a scratch you can't itch. That's why people like, you know, Jay-Z tried to retire. He came back. Master P tried to retire. He came back. Like, it's just, once music or whatever your passion is that's in you, I feel like God's given everybody a passion. And you just you can't help but deal with it.
1, 2, yeah. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, sir, you are tuned in. This is for the SB1200, ASR 10s and NPC heroes. This is for the crate digging, loop getting, sound manipulators, the Fruity Loop reasoning machine innovators that pump the bass and frequently freak the kick in a stand till it slaps in your speakers. The sound providers that make sure the song is tight. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding live. Shout out to the producers, beats grinding life.
Welcome to the Beats Grinding Life podcast with your host Siren, a weekly interview podcast with inspiring music producers, where every week you will learn from a different music producer how to potentially take your music career to the next level.
Today's episode of Beats Grinding Life is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and 30-day free trial at beatsbooks.com. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Some recommended readings by past Beats Grinding Life guests like 48 Laws of Power, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Secret, Tools of Titans, and The Song Machine are all available with Audible. Once again, go to beatsbooks.com to get your free book. What's up, Beat Grinders? This is another episode of Beats Grinding Life. I'm your host, Siren, and I'm so grateful that you guys tuned in with us. This week, we have with us Freddie Bruno. Yo, what's up, Freddie? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you been?
Oh, I'm great, man. Great. All right, y'all. Freddie Bruno is a music producer, sound designer, former rapper, and songwriter based out of Dallas, Texas. He is representing the Hip Hop Collective Deepspace5. As a rapper, he has released a couple albums entitled Ballpoint Composer and Whole Music. As a producer, he has placements with BET show Tales. He's an iStandard Dallas Showcase winner and is now designing sounds for native instruments. You can find some of those sounds that he has built on sounds.com. Freddie Bruno, man, happy to have you up on here, man. How's everything going with you?
Oh, man, it's good. You know, it's been raining in Dallas all week, but we finally got some sun today, so...
Okay.
Life is good.
Yeah, life is good, man. That's what's up, man. Happy to hear that, man. Well, I just read a brief intro on you, man. Why don't you fill in the blanks, man, and let everybody know a little more about who you are?
Well, it's pretty simple. You covered all the musical stuff, but me as a person, I think is what you're asking, is, you know, former fitness model. Okay. Aspiring Mr. World. I'm totally lying. No, I'm just a simple guy, man. You know, family dude. Love music. I love listening to all types of music. I'm predominantly known for hip hop, but I love, you know, listen. I grab inspiration from everywhere, so I listen to everything.
Dope.
Football nerd.
Nice.
I do like working out. If I wasn't doing music, I probably would be one of those people you see on Facebook that do, like, you know, fitness stuff and fitness challenges and everything like that. That is totally something I would be interested in. So that's me as a whole. Okay,
that's what's up, man. That's cool. And Beat Grinders, if the name Freddie Bruno is familiar to you, it might be because we had his son on here 3 weeks ago, Brown Royal. So that's what's up, man. Family, man. How many kids do you have?
2, Brown and his little sister.
Okay, that's what's up. And is she producing?
No, she actually has zero interest in music, but she wants to be a stand-up comedian. When she told me that, I was like, you know, I mean, it could happen. Right. That might be harder than being a producer, but, you know. Yeah, you're right. We'll see what happens.
That's what's up, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, man, here on Beats Grinding Life, how we start this out is we always start from the beginning, man. We want to know you, Freddie Bruno, how did you get into music production? What made you want to get behind the boards and start crafting beats for people?
That's a funny story. It started out of necessity, really. I had a friend of mine back then. I started music basically rapping, and a friend of mine and I used to work together in a group, but we would always have to travel to another friend of ours' house to make beats. Well, inspiration can strike at any time, but he had a family at the time and he had kids, and it was like, hey, can we come over right now? And it was like, no, you know, this is happening, that's happening. So I had to learn out of necessity. So like one of the first pieces of equipment that I had was a Boss. I think it's called an SB202. It's like a DJ sampler thing.
Okay.
And if you Google it, it's literally like a little black square with pads on it, similar to like a machine or something. But it didn't have any memory. You had to actually install a memory card. So everything I created, I just put it straight to tape decks. So it was like I had a 4-track, so I would just make the beat, do like these really ghetto pause tape loops, put them together, throw them on there, and I was like, yeah, I got a song. Dope. Even though I was writing and rapping to it, and the loop's off, but I got a song. You know, it was a creative outlet. So that's kind of like how it started. You know, it just I would just do it out of necessity. You know, we got tired of going to my friend Blake's house when me and my homeboy Plato, he changed his name now. His name is Crumb, but we would just always be ready to work, but nowhere to go. So that's how it started.
Okay, and that seems, I mean, half the people on here say, you know, it started out of necessity. You know, they were rappers, they were singers, and they needed, you know, to make beats, and, you know, they're like, hey, why not just make my own? So, and that's cool, man. You know, you start off with the 4-track, you know, with the Boss, and then transferring over to the 4-track. That builds producers right there. You know, when you have limited amount of equipment, you know, that makes you a better producer. So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Well, you probably answered the next question, man, which is what piece of equipment or software did you start off with? Sounds like it was that Boss.
Yeah, it started with that, and then it gravitated to this is even more janky than that. It gravitated to my first computer, which I got out of a pawn shop. It was this IBM 300PL. Google it. It is this big white just box, and it's just, it was something I had to use. You know, I think I got it for like $5. And I found some software at Fry's. I don't remember the name of it, but it was literally like a step editor. So you just click these squares, and that's how you make your beats and everything. There really wasn't any sequencing. It would just loop. And so I would just, click these squares. Hey, you got a song. Same thing. Right. Hey, you got a song. But back then, I just moved out, and I moved in with my then girlfriend, now wife. And I didn't have a studio. We had a 1-bedroom apartment, and on the 3rd floor. And my setup was on our dining room table. Yeah,
humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
That's what's up, man. But when you got a love for it, man, and you feel a necessity to do it, man, you'll do it anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, even science says, you know, out of want bears the necessity, or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, man. That's what's up, man. All right, man. Well, when you first started doing this thing, man, and when you had that big ass IBM computer, man, in the dining room, man.
It's huge. Like, you gotta Google it. When we get done, you gotta see this thing.
Okay. Who were some of the producers that inspired you? Who were you trying to make beats like? Who were you emulating? Who inspired you?
I can tell you the exact moment, I think, when I really, really, really got inspired was a Tribe Called Quest album called Beats, Rhymes, and Life. That was the one that made me pay attention to Dilla, because if you go back and listen to that album, like the drums, I don't know what kind of gate and compression they were using, but they just all slap on everything. Every single song is just like flat, almost like ear blood come out of your ears type guy. So ever since I heard that, I was like, man, who is this guy? Back then he was, JD. Right. But he had to change it because, Jermaine Dupri, whatever. Yeah. But so back then he kind of got on my radar. Like, man, who is this guy? And then more of his work came out with The Far Side and with Busta Rhymes and all these people. So I just kind of stayed in that bubble of, Native Tongues and De La Soul and all that stuff, and just posted up shop. But yeah, that's basically when I started saying, I need to somehow get like this. I could never produce like Dilla. I mean, there's stuff that Dilla did that people still can't figure out.
Yep.
the pocket man heard is just ridiculous. Like, I've heard tracks where he sampled something, and I'm like, well, what part did he take?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
listening to the original, like, wait, how did he do this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm drawing a blank, but there was this one track in particular. Oh, it was "Stakes Is High" by De La Soul. That is like a weird, like 6/9 loop. Like, it's so weird. Like, but he made it sound 4/4. Like, it's so crazy. But that's nuts. The magnificence of his genius to me, is that he's almost like the Kanye of that time, because Kanye is the crazy genius now, in my opinion. But back then, Dilla was just doing all this stuff that, like I said, nobody could hear it but him. But he made it work.
Yep. That is so on point, man. Stakes Is High, by the way, is my favorite Dilla beat. It may not be the best, but I don't know why. I love that De La song. And man,
next time you listen to it, just count the bars. You're gonna be like, 1, 2, wait, what? It's so crazy how he did it.
I'm gonna re-listen to that when I get off of here, and also the Tribe Called Quest album. I'm gonna re-listen to that as well. I mean, I listened to that over and over and over again, and Dilla was not really on my radar because I think on there it said produced by the Uma, and so I didn't really know who the Uma was, and later come to find out he was part of it, you know. But
Q-Tip, and him.
Yep. Yep. So, okay. Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Dilla was definitely influential in your career. Okay.
100%.
All right,
now,
man.
of course, there were others. There was the DJ Premiers. You know, people who heard me with my sample beats say that a lot of the chops and stuff are reminiscent of him. Like I said, I could never do Dilla. I just appreciated his genius. But more so of like my style would probably more DJ Premier if I had to pick. Yeah.
I could definitely see that, man. I mean, to me, it seems like you have an aggressive style, you know. I mean, I can definitely hear the Southern influence, but I definitely hear that hard East Coast in you as well. I mean, I'm not trying to put like any kind of geographic thing on your sound or anything, but you definitely have a hard style, you know. So
I hear that a lot, actually. Like when I used to do beat battles a lot, that'd be the first thing the judges say. It was like, "Yo, why does this stuff sound so hard?" Pause. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I do it.
Yeah, right. Hey, man. Well, I love it. I personally love it, man. And you're definitely doing something right by getting where you're going, man. So that's what's up. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, man. Well, here on Beats Grinding Life, man, we're all about, you know, having a good time and appreciating who you are and uplifting you as the producer that you are, because you're definitely making moves and we're definitely looking up towards you, man. But it's not all about that, man. We want to know about the setbacks. We want to know about the failures. We want to know about the times that made you tuck your tail, because honestly, that's where we learn. That's where we learn how to become better people, better producers, is by looking at the failures. So I want to know, Freddie, what is one setback that you have had that made you grow and maybe we can learn from?
Man, there were so many. Golly, where to start? Setback that we could learn from. Well, I can tell you one thing. In my early musical career, I was heavily into the Christian music world. And so that's where a lot of my, I guess, notoriety came from, is that people knew me from that. Okay. So when I walked away from that about, 7 or 8 years ago, it was one of those situations where I was kind of in a limbo. Like, I had a full-time job and, I work a 9 to 5 all day. Good job. I work in IT. And, I had to support my family, but yet I still had this dream. So there was a period where I was basically a hobbyist, you know what I mean? Like, whenever I had time at night or whatever, it was a period where I almost went through a borderline depression. My wife got laid off from her job at the time. So the income was basically all coming out of me. And the hard part about that is you have a dream, you have a wife that's deciding to go to college, and you're the only one working, and you never planned for something like this to happen. So it was all, it was like a big mass at once. This is back in like 2010. And the thing that I had to learn from that is, financially, people always got to be prepared. I know we're talking about music, but the truth of the matter is, we all got bills. They show up every 30 days. They ain't going on. Yep. But the biggest thing for us to learn in that era is that you got to save. You got to be smart. The Dave Ramsey plan, I haven't started it yet, but I've done a lot of research about it, and I have some friends of mine that do it. And that's probably something that I'm going to get into.
Nice.
But the main thing that I wanted to say was that in that dark time, because I always call it the dark ages when I refer to it, is because I was really feeling myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be an open book. I really thought I was God's gift to the drum machine. But for whatever reason, God said, "No, you ain't. You are not." So He had to kind of like crush me down and humble me so that I can kind of find the right confidence. It's one thing to be confident in your skill, right? Everybody who does whatever their art is, whether you're a painter, you're a breakdancer, whatever, you're confident in what you know you can do, right? But the difference is when you actually believe it. You know what I mean? Like where you just walk around like, "Ain't gonna touch me," whatever. I felt that way. So going through those times of not having money, almost got our house foreclosed on. I remember my son Brown was very little. He was in football before he started playing or making music. There was times we couldn't even afford to go to the game. You know what I mean? And it was just crazy. But there's those times where you didn't have nothing that makes you appreciate what you have now. And so where we are now, I never want to forget where I was, because that was probably the darkest time of my life. Marriage was on the rocks. Didn't have no money. My wife was trying to get through school to get her degree. She finally did. But it was that stretch of, I think, about 3 or 4 years. I can't remember how long it was. And then we finally started coming out of it, because I started realizing what the problem was. The problem was me. I had to myself and just say, yo, it's not all about me. It's more of a bigger picture here. It's about these people that is my family. And that's what basically got to, put the priority at. God, family, music comes later. And I had to do that.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Thank you for telling that story. I mean, I'm sure that there's a few beat grinders out there that can definitely relate. I'm one of them. I mean, hey, I work a 9-to-5 job, and times do get rough, like you said, I mean, a lot of us want to turn this thing into a job, and sometimes it feels like it hovers over that hobby job thing where you're definitely trying to put in the time, but might not always have the time because of, job, kids, or, whatever. So, man, thank you for definitely sharing that. I want to know, man, what's a step or 2 steps that you think that somebody could use to kind of cope with that?
If you can't tell, I'm a little bit of a spiritual person, and I understand that not everybody is that way. That's fine. But you got to find a way. I've heard it said before. Like I said, I watch a lot of fitness stuff. So I've heard it said before is you got to find your why, right? You got to find out, why am I doing this? Why do I love it so much? I've actually tried to quit, even in this dark period I was telling you about. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't. Like I was at the grocery store. I was picking up, like, I think it was some milk or something. And I heard a really dope sample over the PA system. And I was like, you can't get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a scratch you can't itch. That's why people think like, Jay-Z tried to retire. He came back. Master P tried to retire. He came back. Like, it's just, once music or whatever your passion is that's in you, I feel like God's given everybody a passion. And you just you can't help but deal with it. There are people who walk away, but as far as I'm concerned, you got to find your why. You got to find out, why am I doing this? And then once you find your why, you got to burn the midnight oil. And that was one of the first things I told Brown when he really started getting serious about this music stuff. Is I was like, you're going to sacrifice sleep. You're probably going to sacrifice friends, but you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to just really put the axe to the grind and go. You know what I mean? Having a full-time job and a family does definitely hinder you. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's tough. But at the end of the day, I actually map out my week. It'll be like, okay, this week I got a sound design for Native. Then I got to make some placement joints on this night. When the weekend hits, I don't sleep, bro. Like, I come home, I take a power nap, and then I'm off to the races. You know what I mean? It's basically how it is. And so here we are. It's Sunday. It's kind of, Sunday's normally like my rest, tool around the house day. But it's just one of them situations, man, where you basically gotta, find out why you're doing it, and then figure out how you're gonna do it. Rather than worry about the why haven't I made it, or worry about the stress. A friend of mine told me that the best way to do it is to figure out how you're gonna do it, instead of saying, oh, this is bad, this sucks, this is blah, 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 blah. Now, forget all that.
Right.
How are we gonna go forward? You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Wow, man. Well, thank you for that, man. Beat Grinders, I definitely hope you guys are taking notes on this. I know I definitely am. Just from what Freddie Bruno has mentioned, man, I think that's going to take me a lot further, in the next coming weeks, which could take me further in the next couple years, man. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate that, man.
Sure. I've actually had this conversation with a lot of guys. Like, we'll just be out somewhere and producer homie that I barely know will just kind of share a little a little tidbit. And then I'll just start talking to him, and then I'll find out this just like you, man. Like everybody goes through something. You know what I mean? There was a situation last year when we were in Atlanta. We went back to Atlanta to watch the Beats to Beats thing because I just love going to those iStandard events. They put on a great thing. It's so entertaining. It's a lot of fun. I've gotten kind of close to those guys over the years. But it's like when we went last year, there was a guy who was really emotional about losing a round that he thought he won. That's neither here nor there, but I felt like he won too, but we were all kind of shocked that the dude didn't win. Right. So I kind of talked to him and I was like, dude, I've done many beat battles. I know what he's feeling because I've lost beat battles that I felt like I was robbed from. You know what I mean? Like stuff. I was like, man, I stayed up late doing this. I called it. I did this. Like, and then you go back and study his beat, and you're like, well, that beat ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? So I know exactly the demons he was fighting in his head. So this particular guy in particular, man, I just told him, I said, bro, his stuff is really dope. By the way, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his stuff was really cold, and I just kept it real with him, man. I just talked to him and I tried to speak life to him because I feel like when you go through something, you shouldn't bottle that up. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a testimony. And what I'm dealing with, I may be able to help somebody else with, or what somebody else is dealing with, they may be able to help me with. Like, that's how you pay it forward, in my opinion.
Dope, man. Dope. Well, thank you, man. You definitely paid it forward, man. I definitely appreciate that, man. And also, you mentioned a name on there that has been mentioned on here before. Dave Ramsey, the Kraken, has mentioned him. And, he said that he's going through the Dave Ramsey plan of saving money and trying to become debt-free. Definitely got on my radar. I started listening to Dave Ramsey's podcast as well,
it's
man.
Hilarious, bro. It is hilarious. Whatever your financial status is nothing compared to these people.
Right. Exactly, man. Exactly. But he just kind of reiterates what needs to be heard, man. Is you gotta grind it out, and I don't mean a different kind of grind as far as saving money and
discipline.
Discipline. That's definitely what it is, man. Definitely. So. Okay, man. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate all those words, man. But we're gonna hop on the other side of this, man. We talked about the hard times, the tough times. Now we're gonna talk about the great times, man. I want to know, in your opinion, what is your greatest achievement, or what is your crowning moment in your career?
The crowning moment of my career, I would have to say there may be two. The first one I would have to say was when I saw my son win Beats to Beats a couple years ago.
Nice.
For me, the reason why that was a crowning achievement is because when he came to my wife and I and told us what he wanted to do, we kind of talked him out of it, or I wanted to talk him out of it, because I've been doing this since I was 17. I ain't gonna tell you how old I am now, but I was like, I've been doing this since I was 17, so I know what's involved with this.
Right.
But the way that he kind of fast-tracked through for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years now, and has done more than I have in that same amount of time, it was just a proud dad moment. You know what I mean? Like, being in LA, I was sitting there thinking, okay, these guys are really good. Because that last night, the finals at these Beats to Beats competitions, I think you remember from Atlanta. It's like everybody brings out their best that last night.
Yeah. And everyone is good too.
Right, yeah. And then some people, they do it backwards and bring their best the first day, and they don't have nothing the rest of the week. And that's not how you do it. You got to be basically a slapper every night.
Right.
So that last night, I wasn't trying to make him nervous. I just told him, I said, hey, just be prepared. The guy that dresses the weirdest is probably going to have the best sound. But do you think? And that's really the truth. I've seen some guys at showcases that look like weirdos, but when they push play, it's like, wow. You know what I mean? But
weirdos make the best artists most times.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I'll never forget that night, man. They announced that he won, and I cried. I did. I don't care. Like, it's just a problem. I actually didn't think that he was serious about this until he won the showcase to even go to the finals.
Wow.
So it was just kind of like I had to see the heart, and I kind of do that with everything. Like if you're going to tell me you're going to, do something, I got to see it first. Right. And so he's my kid, and I didn't believe him. I really did. But I saw his heart and his work ethic in football because he was really good at football. Like to the point that when he quit, his coaches were like, "Are you sure you want to quit?"
Wow. Right.
So
wow.
that's definitely one.
Okay.
The second one I would say I went to NAMM this year, and that was like I got invited by Native, but
Dope.
It was like, dude, it was. If you've never been, find somebody who can get you a ticket.
Okay.
For people like us, man, it is like the Comic-Con for producers. Like
Right.
you're walking around, you can actually talk to these people who make the software we use.
Wow.
You know, talk to people who have new stuff coming out that isn't out yet.
Right.
Like so many toys, man. I bump into industry people. I saw Scott Storch walking around.
Wow.
Drake's dad was walking around. Like everybody's there, man. Everybody goes.
That's dope, man.
That was like a bucket list moment for me, and me and my homie the Kraken, we both went together, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of walking, but man, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like you have fun, man. I saw on Instagram you bumped into Flavor Flav, I think, and yeah, man.
Coolest dude on earth. Like he literally was treating me like family. Like that dude was cool as cool could be.
Wow.
He's actually, the Kraken is being managed by the same manager he is. So
okay.
We kind of bumped into him there, like, hey, here, word, okay, cool. And I didn't even know about that little situation that happened in Vegas at the time. People are texting me going, yo, is he all right? You know, is he okay? He looked fine. You know, he was a little tired. Right. I figured it was just because traveling or whatever, but man, he was so cool, man. Shouts out to him, man. He was the coolest dude ever. And then he got on the piano that went viral and went around the world. I was actually standing there when he did it.
That's crazy. Right, that's crazy, man. That's what's up, man. Well, man, those definitely sound like two great moments, and I mean those are pretty recent too. I mean, your son won last year, and you just came back from NAMM not too long ago, so that's
second. I'm sorry, a close tie for second would probably be working with Native.
Nice. Yeah, that's man. Well, all those are great moments right there, man. And you know, like I said, they're all recent, man, back to back. So I mean, it sounds like you're on a good streak right now, man, and then good things are set to come, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up. So it looks like all that hard work, the 17 years, is paying off.
Boy, took a long time.
Yep. But that's cool, man. That's cool. All right, man. Well, you know, you talked about discipline. You talked about how you write your weeks out and all of that, man. But I want to know, man, on a day-to-day, what do you do on a typical day that sets you up for greatness? You know, they say that you model people and see what they do, and then you emulate what they do to become as great as them. So we want to become as great as you one day, Freddie. So what are you doing, man?
I can tell you this much, that recently my parents both fell into some health issues. My dad had a heart attack back in 2010 in the dark ages when I was telling you about. My mother is fighting stage 4 cancer right now, but she's winning, thank God. So having both of those situations happen kind of really make me point more towards my own health. So lately, for the past, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months or so, I'm not vegan, but I've been eating a lot more vegetables and less animal protein. The only way I'll even go full on vegan is if I'm like totally grossed out by meat. But my point is, you have to take care of this body before you can take care of anything else, you know?
Right.
And now that heart disease and now cancer runs in my family, I really want to be on top of what's going on. So a typical day for me is to make sure I don't have garbage. Now, am I 100% clean? No. But you always want to make sure that whatever you put in is always good.
Right.
Next to that, there's coffee. All my homies will tell you that I'm the biggest coffee nerd you'll ever see in your life. I've been to coffee shops all over the country, and people are like, oh, this is the best Americano you'll have. And some of it tastes like garbage. Some of it tastes burnt. But, I mean, I'm the biggest coffee nerd you'll ever meet.
Dope. Okay.
Staying up late every weekend, you know, you kind of need it, right?
Right. Yep.
So, coffee's in the picture. A workout is definitely in the picture. Eat mad vegetables. And then I'm ready for greatness, because I feel like you'll feel better once your body feels better. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. Nice, man. Nice. Well, I mean, it sounds just like me, man. I mean, I'm all about it. I'm not full on vegan, but I do go vegan maybe 4 or 5 days out of the week. And I got to ask you, have you tried the Beyond Burger?
Yes, I do, and I like it.
Man.
I'm gonna take it a step further, bro. We were in Anaheim for NAMM. We ate at a vegan restaurant every single night. If you ever talk to the Kraken, he'll tell you about it. It's called Loving Hut is what it was called.
Man,
and it was so good, bro. We ate there every night.
I can believe it. We have a Loving Hut here, and every time,
word?
yeah. I think it's a nationwide chain, but I love Loving Hut, man. What was your favorite thing that you had there?
Pad Thai, son. Pad Thai and those vegan peanut butter cookies.
Okay. Well, see, I know what I gotta try next time, man. I know they got some shrimp there, man, and it tastes just like shrimp. You would not even know that is not shrimp. You know, so.
And Kraken had the I think it was the veggie fried rice, and they just season it well. I mean, it's just go there. Whoever's listening, just go there. Fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, man. Well, that's what's up, man. I'm glad to know that that you're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your body. Like you said, if you don't do that, you can't take care of anything else. You know, I mean, you are what you put in is what you get out. You know, so like you said, if you want greatness, you have to make sure greatness starts from within.
Yeah, man.
You know,
good health. You gotta practice 2-3 times a day. You know, it's waste. You gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, that's true, man. You know, I'm so.
Pause.
What'd you say?
I said, why'd you pause?
I mean,
in the morning, make it happen, bro.
Hey, man. But man, you know what? I'm sorry to hear about your parents. You know, that's tough. You know, I'm glad to hear that your mom is winning her battle, though. You know, but coming out of it, at least, you know, you're becoming healthier because of it. You know, and you know, that's a great thing. And then, you know, I'm sure you're teaching that to the rest of everybody in your family as well as extended to your wife and your kids, hopefully. So that's what's up, man.
My wife's been a vegetarian for years, and it used to just piss me off, but now I do. I mean, we've been together since high school, so nothing shocks me. So she's already been there. Right. I'm just now joining the party, and so's Brown. So we're kind of all just kind of getting there.
That's what's up, man. That's dope. Little by little, you know. I'm just like you. My day job is I'm a butcher. You know, I cut meat, so it's gonna be hard to go full on vegetarian or vegan. but you know, hey, I think I'm doing all right now, going 4 or 5 days a week. So
yeah, I mean, I pretty much cut out red meat. As long as once the day they make bacon not taste good is when I'll give that up. But it's mainly chicken. It's mainly chicken and fish and mad veggies. Right.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Okay. It's never going to be a day that bacon doesn't taste good. But
I know.
I think that was the point. That was the point you were making. It probably never happened, but okay. All right, man. Well, this portion of the interview, man, I like to call In the Studio. Right now, I'm looking at your studio. The listeners, they can't really see what's going on in your studio, but man, you guys, the studio looks fly. It looks dope. But man, the next best thing to us coming into your studio and working with you is this portion of the interview. So, you ready, man?
I'm ready.
Okay. I want to know, man, when you first start crafting beats, what's the first thing that you do? Do you have a set ritual? Do you turn on some lights to set the mood? Do you spark up? Do you have a cup of coffee? What do you do?
Well, I do all of that except the spark up thing. I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in years. But yeah, I have some LEDs in here, so I'll decide on the color. Nice. I prefer to work at night. It's kind of like my witching hour. For whatever reason. I mean, I work in the day when I need to, but for me at night, it's just like it sets the mood right. So yeah, I'll pick a color that I think reflects my mood. I sometimes like to have a movie playing on my second screen on my laptop. Nice. That kind of reflects what I'm trying to build, right? So if I'm trying to do something like weird and sci-fi, I'll put on a sci-fi movie. If I'm trying to do something more lighthearted, upbeat, I'll put on the Lego Batman. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just depends on what I'm trying to make.
That's dope.
Past that, I turn on all this crap. If I'm going to sample, I'll go over. You can't see it, but there's a big shelf right here with my vinyl on it. I'll go over there, try to pick something out. If not, then I'll just come over here and play something. Past that, I never really go into the studio. Well, I'll take it back. Sometimes I go into the studio saying, yo, I need to make this because I haven't made it in a long time, or I get stuck in a sound. So one thing I was trying to tell Brown when he was first getting started was like, don't get stuck in a sound. Try to do everything.
Nice.
So I can't do everything,
Great advice.
but I can at least take elements of other stuff and make it work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people who know me as a hip hop dude, but I really try to blend both sides of the fence, if that makes any sense.
Yep, it sure does, man. It sure does. That's great advice, man. Don't.
Hope I answered the question.
No, you definitely did. Plus more, man. You know, I mean, from what I got, the best thing I got out of that was not pinning yourself in and making one sound. You know, a lot of people do, especially now it seems like, but. You know, just being as versatile as you can, you know. I think that can definitely further your career.
Yeah, and I don't mean to have my old man moment, but it's like, you know, a lot of people argue and say, yo, this isn't pure hip hop and blah, 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 blah. I kind of get what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, a friend of mine told me years ago that the only way you're going to get better in your craft, if you want to get better in your craft, is to find the art in what you hate, right? If you can't stand mumble rap, listen to it. Figure out why that's popular. Figure out why this is popular. You know what I mean? I can't make that beat. I can kind of do those beats a little bit.
Right.
Brown's doing like in his sleep, but it's never been my lane. Right. But if you want me to do you like some Slaughterhouse type, just straight neck snapping stuff, that's me all day.
Right.
But if you want to merge the two, that's where the skill comes in hand. I think Illmind does a great job doing both sides. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The hip hop, rap style with the trap, So that's just to me. I think it makes you a better producer. Like I love Ninth Wonder, I love Knots, I love Primo. All those people, they're great. But then I also like some, not all of it, some of the mumble stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Zaytotens and the Metro Boomins, and some of that stuff is jamming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to know what's a not so secret weapon that you got in that studio.
Ooh, man. The best secret weapon that I have, and for any aspiring producer listening, the biggest thing that I used to have an issue with was my mixes. So the best secret weapon I have is my UAD interface. That thing, I didn't know much about it, but again, I learned from my homeboys, and they basically said, yo, you really need to get one of these. And when I'm listening to their mixes and I listen to mine, I was like, yeah, I need to get one of these. So that definitely was a game changer for me. It trained my ears better. But that's probably my secret sauce.
Okay.
It's expensive, but like I said, it's worth the investment. Like, well worth the investment.
Okay, and I want to know how has it transformed your mixing from not so great to great? I mean, is it that you can hear the quality is better through there, or I mean, what makes it so different?
It's a little bit of all of that. So it's basically, for people who don't know, the UAD thing is basically they take analog machines and model it and put it as a plugin, right? So it's independent processing from their interface, so it doesn't put extra strain on your computer, which is great. So the cool thing about it is, like, I know friends of mine who've been in studios with the big, Neve boards and the Neve 1073 actual channel strips and know what that sounds like, and they come and get a UAD and you add that plug-in and they hear the same exact sound. It's almost like cheating for somebody who's not an engineer, right? Like, I know how my beat should sound. I'm not an engineer, but people always like, yo, can you mix my stuff? No, I ain't mixing your stuff. I know how my stuff can sound and not yours. But I just really love how they get the modeling right. You know what I mean? Like, the compressors, the channel strips, the vocal stuff, like it just, I put a specific master chain up on my one. I use Studio One a lot. Put a master chain up. I know what I'm going to put on my 808s or my bass lines, the compressions, all that stuff, the gates. It's literally like hitting a switch and go. It's like cruising, boop, and I just on with it. And of course, you got to have really good monitors because, a lot of people, don't really understand the value of having good monitors. Like, you have to have a true sound. I'm probably rambling, but I'm hoping I'm answering your question.
No, we love it, man. We definitely love it, man. Keep rambling. The more, I mean, you're definitely adding value, man. The more that you're spitting, the more that we're learning. So, man, keep.
I'm trying. Like I said, I mean, you don't want to hold all this info in. Another friend always die empty. So it's like, give it all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, very true, man. We definitely love it, man. That's what I created this thing for, and that's what all the beat grinders listen to this podcast for, man, is to get as much value as we can. So we definitely encourage it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, man. Well, now we get a chance to learn, man, what's all in your studio. If you can tell us, man, what's all in your arsenal, what's in your toolbox?
Toolbox, okay. Well, I have a Yamaha vintage keyboard over here. It's a Yamaha C20.
Okay.
That's over here. That was a gift to me from a jazz player friend of mine.
Wow, nice.
Just recently got the new Native Instruments Complete Control MK2. That was a gift from the sounds.com thing.
Nice.
I have my machine here, and then I have a Machine Jam, turntable, gang of vinyl over there, and gang of VSTs. And I have two Yamaha monitors that I'm going to be upgrading soon. So, and then of course I got a chaotic eyeball with a microphone. Let me see, what else I got in here?
What kind of turntable you got?
This is a Newmark. I can't see the model number. It's an old Newmark, but I needed a really, really good one. It's basically a DJ turntable. Okay. And the one I had before this was like a belt-driven one, and I've had it for years. And it finally died because the low hum on it was just god-awful. So I got this one a few years ago as a gift to myself, and I've been with it ever since.
Dope, man. Dope. Okay. What kind of Yamaha speakers do you have?
It's the HS8s.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Well, good speakers. I just need a. They're really good monitors. They have a really good upfront sound. But Brown won the Focal Alpha A's from his iStandard showcase. Now I want some of those.
Yeah, he was bragging about how dope they were.
Yeah, they were at NAMM, by the way, and they showed some of the new stuff they got coming out. Man, yeah, these are coming out of here at some point.
I hear that, man. Well, he mentioned on his episode that he was shopping for new monitors.
What?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Whatever. But he can give me them then.
Yeah, right. He puts up on Snapchat. He's looking for new monitors as well. So, but yeah. So yeah. You might be gifted some new monitors. That's what's up, man. Okay. Well,
he's just down the hallway too.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Okay. Well, Beat Grinders. If you guys took interest in anything that Freddie Bruno mentioned, you guys can definitely go on the website on his show notes and check that out. So I'll definitely have a list of everything that he mentioned. So all right, thank you, man.
For sure. Thank you for having me, brother. It's been good.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Well, this next portion of the interview, man, we like to call In the Mix. I want to know, man, we're just gonna speed things up a little bit, but it's kind of like rapid fire. But if you need to take your time to elaborate on a question, man, please do. So you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. What do you prefer making beats with, samples, or do you prefer making beats without samples?
I prefer without, but I'm really good with.
Right. Okay. All right. What's your opinion on selling and leasing beats online?
I'm not into leasing. I'm one of the people who like to build with an artist. So, I'd like to work with somebody and say, hey, let's build something great.
Dope. I like that. Okay. A plugin that you think every producer should have in their arsenal?
Keyscape and Omnisphere 2.
Yep. Nice. Okay. All right. What book do you think every producer should read? And it doesn't have to be a book on music, but it can be.
Book that every producer should read. There's a book that my man Jay Hatch wrote. I forget what it's called. Oh, How I Left My Job and Went Into the Music Industry or something like that. It's a really good book. I mean, it really, really is. It talks about his dark place and how he got to where he is now. It's a really, really good read.
Dope. Yeah, that book has been mentioned on here a lot, and for a reason, man. It's definitely inspiring just to hear his story and definitely see how he got, like you said, from a dark spot and to where he is now. So, all right, shout out to Jay Hatch, definitely. So,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, and Beat Grinders. I know you guys are producers and you don't have very much time to open a book and read it. But you can now get an amazing audio book just like this for free at beatsbooks.com. So you guys go and check that out.
Oh, where I had that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, through audible.com. So, okay. All right, man. Is there an internet resource that you think every producer could benefit from? And when I say internet resource, I mean a website or a mobile app.
Sounds.com.
Dope. There you go. Nice. I'm loving that. Okay.
It's not just hip hop, man. People think that it's only like hip hop stuff. They got everything there, so I highly recommend it.
Okay, and I want you just to explain to everybody a little bit about, because we haven't gone over sounds.com yet, but I know that there are a lot of past Beats Grinding Life guests that have sound kits on there and stuff. Can you just explain a little bit about what it's about?
Basically, it is kind of like your typical like Splice site or Drum Broker or Machine Masters thing where they sell packs. The difference, though, is that you don't have to buy the entire pack. You can only buy like pieces of it, and it makes it searchable. So, like, let's say you're making a beat, and you're like, "Yo, I need to find a Fender Rhodes and the key of this at this tempo." You can actually search that and find it. And so they made that very clear to us when we signed up that, hey, we don't have to do it, but we can make it an option, and it's easier for people to find us, and you can get more downloads if you do it that way. So that is definitely one thing. And like I said, there's people who only need like a drum loop, or they only need a guitar riff, or there's even vocal stuff out there. Like they literally have everything. Like to me, it's a good rival to what's out there, or at least to keep up with what's out there.
Okay, nice. So of like Splice, for instance, is a monthly payment type of deal. With sounds, do you have to pay a monthly fee, or can you just buy, like, let's say I just need one sound, I don't want to make monthly payments, I can just buy that one sound and I'm good?
Well, it's twofold. So the thing with sounds is there is actually a free side, because not every pack up there is exclusive. If you see anything that's marked exclusive, then that means that you have to be a member to have it. You can listen to it, but you can't get it unless you're actually a member. But yes, you have to be a member. I think it's like $9.99 a month for the power membership. And there's no tiered system. I know Splice has a tiered system, but this is just one payment of $9.99 a month, and you get all this stuff that you want for free, or for that fee.
Right. Dope. Okay. Well, Beat Grinders, it definitely sounds like it's worth checking out. You guys should definitely go to sounds.com and check it out. Like I said, Freddie Bruno has some sounds up on there, and a lot of past Beats Grinding Life guests do as well. So, all right, man. Well, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you. I have 3 up there now. I'm about to drop another one on March 1st, which is this week. It's called the Hat Box, hi-hat shuffles, percussion shuffles. That one will be free.
Ooh, okay. That's what's up. You guys go check it out. So, all right. Well, I want to know, man. We're taking down all the faces off Mount Rushmore. We don't need presidents up there anymore. With the current president in office, I'm not even gonna say anything. But we're just putting What'd you say?
All hail the orange.
Yeah, yeah, right. So we're just done with presidents. As the producer community, we don't really need presidents right now, but what we do need up there are producers up there. So I want you to tell me what 4 producers are going up on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, this is easy. I would definitely say Dilla. Right behind him would probably be Teddy Riley.
Ooh, okay.
Teddy Riley, and just a sidebar, that dude has like literally over 500 placements. He produced stuff that people don't even know.
Wow, I can.
So he definitely needs to go up there. Timberland,
nice.
Primo, and this is all subjective, of course, but this is who I want to see up there.
Right. Yeah.
And there's one more, right? So I would probably put as the 4th. I would probably put Pete Rock.
Okay, Pete Rock, nice. I like all of those, man, and I definitely understand and know why you mentioned all of them. Now, there are only 4 faces that go up there. You mentioned 5 people, and that's all right, man. We can always add a 5th person, man.
It's a big mountain. We can
yeah, exactly, man. But a lot of those people are mentioned on here a lot, man. Especially Dilla, especially Timberland. Teddy Riley, not so much. Only a few people have mentioned him, but he definitely deserves it, man. He started a movement with the New Jack Swing. Like you said, has tons and tons of placements, man. I mean, and Premier definitely needs to go up on there, as well as Pete Rock, man. Both those guys are legends that have their own sounds that have had many people try to emulate those sounds and fail. So,
legendary.
Yep, legendary. So, all right, man. Well, I want to know, man. I want you to imagine you just woke up from a dream, and in that dream you had the perfect studio session. You had one artist, one co-producer to go along with yourself, one engineer, and one random person. Who are those 4 people that were in your dream?
Alive or dead?
Yep.
The artist would probably be. Oh man, who would that be? I like some people. Sean P.
Ooh, okay.
Sean.
Yeah.
The co-producer would probably be Ninth Wonder.
Nice.
Engineer would probably be KY Engineering, because I love, even though he doesn't do a lot of hip hop stuff, his mixes are incredible.
Right.
And what was the other one?
Random Person.
Random Person probably be my son.
Dope. I'm liking that, man.
He always wanted to absorb, so he probably would be there just in the back chilling.
Dope, man. Dope. I'm loving that, man. I'm loving that session right there, man. We've heard Sean P. We've heard Ruck with Ninth Wonder before. Them come together and make magic happen before, man. But the difference was that Freddie Bruno would be on the boards with them. Yep, there with you, man. Love to hear that. Like you said, KY the Engineering, not known for doing traditional boom bap hip hop, but I bet he can make it work, man. And that's what I love, seeing people that you would not expect come together and collab, So that I think that would be dope, man. And also Brown Royal. I don't really hear him do too much boom bap, but I'm sure he would definitely fit right in there, even if he was just observing or not. He's a producer that can definitely contribute. So that's what's up, man.
What's funny is people always say that most of the stuff that people pick up from him is that trappy new sound.
Right.
But the dude, he actually can do it. Like, it's not something he always does, but he can actually do it. Like, he has something that's about to come out, I can't tell you about it, that's more along that line.
Okay.
So y'all just be looking for that.
Yeah, definitely be looking for that, man. Man, I mean, I don't doubt it. In his interview, he talked about you being his father and how he grew up listening to a lot of Dilla. So, yeah. So I definitely, and Roots as well. He said he listened to a lot of Roots. So, yeah, I definitely don't put it past him. So,
interesting fact about the Roots is his real middle name is Tariq.
Oh, really?
Gave him that name from Black Thought.
That's dope, man. All right.
My wife and I were middle names. I said, I just want this one thing, and I'm done.
Right. I know how it goes. Sometimes it can be kind of hard trying to name a baby, especially when a woman put in that 9 months. But yeah, as long as you can get one, you're good. So, all right, man. Well, I want to know. What's your favorite song that you ever produced?
Favorite song that I ever produced is a collab with a group called The Addicts, featuring Crooked Eye from Slaughterhouse.
Nice. Okay.
Probably my favorite one. I was when they sent it back to me, it was they were trying to get Royce on it, and so I was excited to hear Royce. But when he sent it back to me and it had Crooked on it, I was like, "Oh, this will work."
Yeah, right. That's that's not nothing to get upset about. So that's what's up. Yeah, okay, man. Well, can we hear that song somewhere?
Yeah, it's on. I believe it's on my SoundCloud page. It should still be there. It's called Bars Incorporated.
Okay, dope, man. Well, Beat Grinders, you guys already know where to go after you hear this interview, or you can even press pause, go listen to it real quick, and come right back. So we'll wait for you. All right, man. What's an album besides one that you worked on that you recommend every producer listen to, and why?
An album that I recommend would probably be Big Crit's last album. I can literally listen to it from front to back. Like, I can just put it on and let it go. Like, that's definitely one that just freshly comes to my mind. After him would probably be this kid named Black Bear, I think is what his name is.
Okay.
He's out in LA, I think. White dude, pink hair, but his music is really dope.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Well, I want to know why. Why do you recommend those? That every producer listen to those two albums?
Two things. With the Big Crit album, he's all over the place. It's not one sound. It's not just one, Southern sound. He's got a couple hip hop stuff on there. So that's why, that's literally the mold of what I'd like to do, is not just stay in one lane, just, here's something with everything on it, right?
Right.
Black Bear is a good listen for me because the mix, number one, and then the if you need to scratch that modern itch, he has it, right? Yeah. So if you want to turn up and, have that bounce and all that stuff, he's got this song in there with 2 Chainz called Gucci Linen. It just jams, bro. It just jams. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's like we have this debate all the time, me and my producer homies, about like the art versus just jamming. For me, Black Bear is just jamming. You know what I mean? I'm not listening to him for bars. I'm not listening to him to put him on Team Backpack or something.
Right.
I'm just listening to jam. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of a guilty pleasure for me.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Well, I haven't heard Black Bear before, but I'll definitely check him out when I get done with this, man. White guy with pink hair.
He's really cool.
I'll definitely be on the lookout. So, okay. All right. Well, Beat Grinders, I'm going to provide links to those, and you guys can definitely listen to those 2 albums if you need to. So, all right. Thank you, man. I want to know. Okay, man. I want to know if you woke up tomorrow, man, and you lost everything that you had, except for your knowledge and $1,000. And when I say everything, I mean everything. All the producer homies, everything, man. I just want you to imagine you're restarting on a whole new planet, identical to Earth. But you got your knowledge, $1,000. What are you going to do in the next week to restart your career?
Ooh, man. That's a good question. All I have is $1,000.
Yep.
Well, I'd post up in one of those extended stay hotels, and then I would go to what's that website where you can do that rent to own for gear? American Musical, I think is what it is.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I think it's American Musical, and I got good credit, so if everybody ran away, I'll just go finance everything and just hope that I'm getting some money.
Right.
I'm kidding. But no, I'd probably try to figure out a way to get another laptop. So I went to a pawn shop before, do it again.
Nice.
I'd probably have to go back do the buddy thing. You know what I'm saying? Do that again. I would try to get to where all the happenings are. You know, if there's a beat battle, if there's a showcase, if there's an artist showcase, whatever it is. Like I'm starting over from ground zero, right? So I'm gonna just go back to ground zero. You know, I don't consider myself a celebrity, but you know, if I have to start over, I'll start over.
Right.
You know, it's no big deal.
Dope, man.
I've done it before.
Yep. Yeah, you've done it before. So the reason why I asked this question, man, is because there's a lot of producers that have lost everything due to theft, due to hard drives breaking, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I've been through that too.
Yep, I bet, man. That might have been one of the hardest moments that you've had, right? But,
dude, I was actually this is back when I rapped, but I was actually working on a project and it died on me. So
it always seems to happen that way, man.
Pretty much.
but yeah, man. And then there's also people that want to become producers and don't know how to start out, you know, and they may have a little bit of money and they just want to know how to get started in this. So, you know, so thank you for talking about that, man. And thank you, because not everyone talks about going to showcases, going to, you know, meet up with other artists or anything like that. You know, that's all a part of it that doesn't cost very much money, you know. So thank you for mentioning that, man.
People forget that the reason why Timberland is famous is because he had some really dope artists behind him.
Right. That's true. That is so true, man. Dope, man. Okay.
Just saying, when he first came on the scene, I didn't know his drum pattern, so, you know, and look at him now.
Yeah, right? That is so true. Okay. All right, man. Well, I want to know, when it's all said and done, when you got to let go of music, man, which you probably will never do. You'll probably do it until the day you die. But I want to know, when it's all over, man, what do you want your legacy to be with this music thing? And what does legacy mean to you?
Man, that's a really, really good question. Legacy means to me that I've left something for somebody who's behind me, which is my son, right? Nice. I want to make sure that I prepared him, because I'm not going to be because I manage him, so I'm not going to be managing him forever. I want to make sure that he's educated and that he knows what he's doing. Make sure that he's prepared to be an adult in the world, right?
Nice, right.
My biggest thing is, like I said earlier, you know, I'm a family man, so I want to make sure that before Freddie Bruno, my real name is David. So before all that, I'm David when I come here. So they need to know, my daughter needs to know what a husband should be. You know what I'm saying? My son should know how to find a good wife. He should know that how to act in the world. He's the oldest. He's 18, about to be 19. He graduates high school this year. So I really got to get him ready for the world, you know?
Right.
So to me, legacy is what kind of father were you to your family, right?
Nice.
So for me, that's what that means. And what kind of, you know, husband am I to my wife, etc.
Right.
So as far, now if you want to take it to the musical aspect, I just want to be known for somebody who never gave up, even though I wanted to. I want to be known for having the dopest kits on sounds.com, which I know I have a long way to do that. But with everything I do, I just want to make sure I give it my all. Like, I don't do anything halfway. So when I leave and I say, okay, I'm done, I want to make sure that I've done everything I wanted to do.
Dope, man.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a Grammy, have to be any kind of award or a platinum plaque. But if I could sit back and say, okay, I'm good, then I'll know I've reached that point. And I can pass the torch to Brown, and he can do all that other stuff.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. I mean, that's probably why you cried when he won that beat battle. You know, I mean, that's part of it, man. You're passing on, what you've done onto him, and you're watching his growth now, So you're living your legacy, man. That's what's up. What I love about that answer, man, is you talked about real life and you talked about music, and that's what it all, I mean, we all want to just talk about music, man, but at the end of the day, we're humans first before we're musicians, man. So, man, thank you for mentioning both sides, man. I appreciate that. So,
sure.
All right, man. Well, I want to know, what's the greatest piece of advice that you've ever received, and what advice would you have for all the beat grinders listening today?
The greatest piece of advice that I've ever received, I think I said it earlier, is that you have to listen to what you hate. Because back in my dark days, I was a snob. I didn't want to listen to anything other than boom bap, East Coast, whatever. But the only way I've been able to even grow to this point is because I opened up my ears and learned to appreciate other stuff. I just posted something about Rakim yesterday. He kind of said the same thing, that music evolves. We don't have to understand what these kids are talking about yet nowadays. I can't relate to popping mollies and doing all that crap, but it's what it is right now. It's the Dookie rope chain of the day, right? So it is what it is. So I don't sit up here and have an old man moment and be like, that's not the right. No, we ain't got time for all that.
Right. Awesome, man. That's what's up, man. I'm the same exact way, man. I was so stubborn. I didn't want to listen to nothing but boom bap back in the day, and I think that stifled my growth, as a musician, and just as a music listener. There's so much great music out there that I missed out on that I'm trying to catch up on now. But yeah, man. So
it's also good to just walk away. Take a break. Like, sometimes when I get in my truck and I'm driving, I don't want to hear nothing.
Right. Right. That's so true, man. So beat grinders, definitely take that advice. Don't just listen to boom bap. Don't just listen to trap. Don't just listen to rap. Listen to a little bit of everything. So
okay.
Dope, man. All right, man. Well, I want to know if you have any more words for the listeners, man. You can definitely let them know now. If you want to let them know how to contact you, if you want to be contacted, man, please let them know.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can follow me on my social media. Everything is at Fred Bruno with an underscore at the end. FredBruno underscore at the end. As far as a final tidbit, man, just always, like I said earlier, find your why and figure out how you're going to make it happen. Simple as that.
Dope, man. Also, let them know what they should be looking out for, man.
I'm working on a new kit for sounds.com. It's called Gorilla Cage Part 2. That's coming out soon. I have an album that I'm working on or developing with a local artist here by the name of DJ Menace. He's the guy who did the song with Crooked Eye. So I think we're going to probably work on a project pretty soon. Past that, just making tracks, sending them out. More than anything, the sound design is taking over my life right now.
Right.
But the cool thing about it is it gives me that itch. It gives me that creativity. I'm stretching myself. I may be going to South by Southwest this year. I don't know yet.
Okay.
But past that, man, that's basically all I'm doing. And then managing Brown.
Cool, man. Well, it sounds like you got your hands full, man. And now we got our hands full because we got a lot to look out with you, man. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for you, your sound packs, and everything that you're doing, man. So once again, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, brother. It's been a good time.
Yeah, definitely, man. And Beat Grinders, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Your listens are definitely appreciated. And if you found value in this show, please share it on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever, and tag me, and also tag Freddie Bruno as well, and just let us know what you guys thought about this episode. So give us a thumbs up, give us a like, whatever, a love, whatever it is. And you guys continue on with your week. And you know how this is, man. You guys have been mentored by Freddie Bruno this week. So keep making beats. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I like to say, man, these podcasts are little mini mentorships every week that we have, man. So thank you for that, man. And beat grinders, keep making beats, stay on your grind, and love life. All right, peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
Here at Beats Grindin' Life, we want to thank you for listening to another episode. We want to know, what were your biggest takeaways from this interview? Just go to beatsgrindinlife.com and leave a comment on this episode's show notes page. Also, while you are there, go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just click the little button that says subscribe. If you could, please leave a rating and review. Rating and reviews are the best way to show your appreciation because it helps more people find out about the podcast. So until next week's episode, keep grinding.